my name is Sushma Jansari and I'm the Table Foundation Curator of South Asia at the British Museum. I'm going to give you a very brief overview of the South Asia collections and also a bit about my own research. So I curate the ancient to medieval South Asia collections, and that's a massive range of time. It starts with the Paleolithic, about 1.5 million years ago, the stone tools, and it goes all the way through the Indus Valley, where we have small terracotta animal figurines, stamp seals, range of things like shell bangles. There's a whole range of material, and then it goes all the way through to, say, the early historic period. So then you've got loads of small terracotta figures of people, like the so-called Baroque ladies with very elaborate hairdos, lots of coins. There are lots of sort of reliquaries, Buddhist reliquaries, and beautiful sculptures, and that's mostly stone and metal, but also terracotta. And the terracotta stays almost constant as a really important sculptural material, but also for temples, the outside embellishment of temples, lots of things like that as well. And also all the way through to the medieval period, which is, say, 11th, 12th, 13th sort of century. And that also includes a lot of sculpture material, mostly in stone and metal at that point. In terms of the rest of the South Asia collections I look after, it's the ethnographic material, which is basically the objects of everyday life. And once again, this is just as wide-ranging as you can possibly imagine. So there are things like shadow puppets, to rickshaw art, there are film posters, film booklets in Bollywood, also Bangladesh. There are everyday pieces of jewelry, clothing, textiles. There's even some really beautiful, very intricately made leaf plates from Nepal, for example, and they're disposable. It's the ultimate eco-friendly disposable crockery that you can use, and they were used at things like weddings. And when I talk about South Asia, I do mean the whole range, all the countries of South Asia. And then there's medieval to the present day South Asia collections. And once again, this is really wide ranging. There are textiles, there are scrolls to tell stories, there are paintings, like miniature paintings, but also more contemporary paintings as well. There are musical instruments. Incredibly, we have Ravi Shankar Sitar and Ustad Alaraka's tabla as well. They were both generous donations. It's so wide ranging that it's hard to even name all the different categories. So if there's anything you are at all interested in, please just get in touch and I can point you in the right direction, or I can show you how to use collection online. I suppose it's easier to sort of share ideas for the anthologies you are working on. But there's also the rest of the world represented at the British Museum, and this is East Asia, Southeast Asia, Australia, different countries of Africa, the Americas, of course there's Europe and the UK as well. And once again, that's the most ancient times all the way through to the present day. So once again, please get in touch and I'll be really happy to guide you through the kind of collections we have in a way that works for the stories that you want to tell. To give you a brief overview of my own research, I'm an ancient historian, so my particular period of interest and research is about the 4th century BC up until about the first few centuries AD. And I'm really interested in what happens when different people meet for the first time. What kind of new ideas are generated? What do they say about each other? What kind of new objects do their ideas and new interactions form or create? And one of the regions I've been looking at is northwestern South Asia, so that's India, Pakistan, and parts of Afghanistan as well. There's some really incredibly interesting things, whether it's coins, whether it's very ancient texts that were written as well. And I mean texts written in about the 4th, 3rd centuries BC, and also coins from slightly later in that period. And it's also the region of Gandhara, so you have the incredible art which brings together so many different religious and artistic ideas in this kind of material too. I also have a very strong interest in collecting history, and I supervise 2 research students looking at the South Asian collectors represented at the British Museum, but also women collectors represented in the South Asia collections. And for me, myself, I've recently been looking at collecting history of Sri Lanka. So there's quite a lot there, and if as I keep on saying, if there's anything you're interested in, please do get in touch and I'll do my best to help. So thanks very much.